Hey there, YouTube. This is Nova Piper. Today is Labor Day, Monday. My 11th day off in a row. I think it's the most vacation I've ever had at one time. So, besides being sick on a leave or something, but back to work tomorrow. Still no cat. Gonna be a mess. Anyway, today, I'm gonna do a tobacco review today. Probably tell by the title. It's the Country Gentleman. I think that's what this one is, the Country Gentleman. I got a replacement stem for it because I chewed through it. I like the dark stain on it. It looks pretty cool, rustic. I like this. And of course it smokes fantastic, like a barrel shape. It smokes amazing, like all cobs. But today, I'm going to do something different. Not that the tobacco review is different, it's just that I'm going to review a Virginia-based tobacco. So I'm a Latakia guy. This is one of my favorites. Mississippi River, Seattle Pipe Club. Red Virginia's pressed tobacco spiced with Oriental leaf, Latakia, and Perique. Joe Langford blend. So you all know the story. I'm not going to get into that. Look it up. It was at some competition, won a bunch of awards, and came to him in a dream and all that shit. But I'm a Latakia smoker. I like my English, very strong Englishes, so not that I don't like Virginia-based tobacco. Now, there's supposed to be Latakia in this, but of course I can't taste it at all. Tobacco is kind of a loose crumble cake, and I dry it out. I don't know if you can see that. I dry it right out, break it up, because it's way too wet. So I leave it out until it's dry, put it back in the can. You can see a lot of those red Virginias in there and a little bit of black leaf. But you'll notice when I clump it, it feels wet, but it's not sticking together. And that's why I like to smoke my tobacco now. And in these types of cans, it'll stay fresh. Unless you want to cellar it, leave it in a can, it'll last, it'll keep its moisture for a while. So I was doing a little reading on this, and I'm not too good with finding words that describe tobaccos. And where I don't smoke a lot of Virginia, kind of hard to compare it to. And to be quite honest, there's no Virginia that I've tried that I can compare this to. There's a lot of different types of tobaccos in here. There's a lot going on. But for somebody who prefers English blends, this is a good change of pace. It's a great tobacco. But the tin note, it's not like normal Virginias. I don't know if it's because it's the red, but it's sort of a nutty tin note to it. I can't smell any Latakia. I don't really know what Oriental leaf tastes like on its or smells like on its own, so I can't really say there. Or Perique. I don't smoke a lot of vapors. I might change that though. I'm going to try a vapor. My next order. But very nutty. Just a hint, a little bit of chocolatey, just a hint of chocolatey, buttery. And these are also terms that I've seen other people use to describe this tobacco as well. And I'm kind of copying what they're saying because I was reading many reviews and people say, okay, well, it smells, buttery. It's like, yeah, it does in a way. It's, I can't describe it. I don't mean, you just got to taste it. But there's definitely a hint of chocolate in there. Another term that's used is earthy. And I find that pretty vague too, because earthy to me would be like, if I was to pick up a handful of grass or a handful of wet decay, but it doesn't smell like soil. but it's tobacco. It's got to have a plant smell to it, I guess. So that's where the earthiness comes from. And, you know, different plants, whether it be food or tobacco or what have you, weeds, grass, trees, they all have that similar but yet different earthy odor to it. So I don't like to really use the word earthy. Now, some of the terms people use for Virginias would be grassy. Think of Orlick Golden Slice. No grassy in this. Some of the fermented Virginias, you'll get that vinegar, ketchup, barbecue sauce. People use that term. For instance, in some of my Frogmortons, I can smell that. The McClelland brands tend to have that odor to it. Of course, you don't taste it at all, but you can definitely. I do have some tobacco. You smell it. It's like, that's like goddamn ketchup, but you smoke it, it's fantastic. It doesn't come through. But some people are using that word to describe Mississippi River, and I don't see it. There's no hay, no barbecue sauce, no latakia. The cut of the tobacco, so you can see it's just loose little pieces, and it burns really good. 10 Russians is kind of similar. When you break it up, it's just like little pieces of tobacco. You know, like they're not falling apart. Like they're not disintegrating, but I find these cuts of tobacco burn really good. Maybe it's the cake thing. Maybe that's what it is. But it definitely needed some drying time. But now, the flavors I'm getting from it. You can taste the Virginia. I'm trying to think of another Virginia I've tried that's similar to this, and I can't think of anything. Of course, I don't have a very broad palate, and I haven't tried a lot of different tobaccos like some of you guys have. I'm just trying to find my own words. I do get a little bit of a spice on the retrohale. Could be from the Perique. It's kind of a medium nicotine hit. Not too bad. But there's some nuts in there. Like I don't know what kind of nuts you'd call them, but you get that nutty taste. It's almost like and I've seen other people say the same thing. It's sort of reminds them of tobaccos that have burley mixed in with them, little bits of burley, when this one isn't supposed to, but yet it has sort of those flavors. Maybe it's the red Virginias. I don't know the difference between the light Virginias, the red Virginias, the dark, the way they're cured and all that stuff. The way it smells in the can and the way that it smokes when you first light it is pretty similar. They're not always the same, but some tobaccos are similar that way. Like I can't detect any kind of casing or topping on it. There's absolutely no bite. But it's just as it smells. There's a little bit of nutty, a little buttery. You know, you got that Virginia, but it's not that grassy hay Virginia taste. Like every puff is a little bit different. There's a lot going on here. Now I know they had some quality control with this stuff. I don't know. I haven't tried the original stuff that first came out that people say, oh, it's way better than what's on the market now. I have no idea. But I've been buying some of the stuff. I got a can in there I'm trying to sit on, so I got to get some more of it. I just opened that can. I'll go 2 or 3 bowls out of it. But yeah, the flavors are coming through. Just like it's in the tin, but it's a little different. There's no sour to it or anything. I'm not detecting it. It's not really chocolatey like a burley. But it would be more nutty than anything, I guess would be the word I'm looking for. If you didn't tell me, I'd have to say there was burley mixed in with this. But I'm going to smoke this for a while. I'm going to come back when I'm into the smoke a little bit and see how it holds up. Okay, I'm about halfway. Maybe just a little bit past the halfway mark on this. Still burning pretty good. The flavors are staying pretty consistent. It has changed a bit. Now this pipe, I don't smoke I don't smoke English blends in this pipe. It's just Virginias and Burleys I smoke in here, mostly Virginias. I don't smoke Burley very often. I am noticing every so often I just get a little nuance of Latakia, ever so slightly, now that I'm a little bit into it. All tobacco changes flavor as you go through it. It's not always necessary. Some tobaccos get gross. This isn't like that at all. It's still pleasant. But yeah, the flavor will change as you smoke it. You know. What I would have to say is that if you didn't tell me any different, I would have to say there is Burley in here. Now I know it states there's not, but just some of the taste I'm getting do remind me of Burley a little bit. Still got some nutty in there. It's sweet. It's not biting. You can see how fast I smoke, right? The smoke is pretty thick and creamy. But now I slow down a little bit as I get that towards the bottom of my bowl. I do tend to slow down my pace a bit. Take smaller puffs. I don't take them big, like I do at the beginning. This pipe usually gets a little warm at the top, but down where I'm at now, it's thicker. Pretty good, but it's getting a little bit bitter. I find all tobacco does get a little bitter towards the bottom. I can get a little hint of Latakia sometimes. Some puffs I do, some puffs I don't. It's still not grassy. It's people say the fruit flavors like the plum. I don't like using those. Raisins, I don't really, maybe some people would find that. Everybody tastes things differently. And this is just how I taste this. So it's just my opinion, that's all. I see what other people say, and then I try to find that. Okay, so people say nuts. Yeah, sure. People say buttery. I guess so. People say earthy. Yeah, not really. Some Virginias do smell earthy. Some of them taste that way. I do like the grassy Virginias. That's what I really like. But this is a very unique blend where it doesn't remind me of a lot of the Virginias out there. I really like it. If you've never tried it, everybody says this. Oh, you got to try this tobacco. But if you're looking for a Virginia that's a little different than the normal, give it a try. Lots of people like it. Doesn't mean you will. But if you like Virginias, like a little nutty Virginia, it's not gonna. If you're looking for a grassy hay Virginia, this isn't it. But the nuttiness, the buttery, it's all still there, but it's not as dominant. Now I'm getting more of a Virginia taste. So unlike some tobaccos, the flavor is going to change as you get more towards the bottom on this. But the nutty's still there. I'd have to say it really does. It's more of a Burley thing than it is I guess that's the nuttiness from Burley, the chocolatey you get from Burley. Straight Burley. I can usually smoke the stuff to the bottom. It's hard in a corn cob the way they're designed though. Always a little bit of waste, the dottle. Can't get her down to the bottom. Good size pipe though. I can feel the nicotine. I'm a lightweight for nicotine though. I'll smoke some strong blends with nicotine in them and woo! Of course, my favorite smoke is a strong tobacco early in the morning with my coffee, empty stomach. And that's when you're really going to feel the nicotine. But I am feeling a bit more than nicotine. It's a full flavor tobacco. I wouldn't really call it. It's not really strong. You know, it's sort of like medium there. Don't ask me about the room note because I'm no good with room notes. I smoke outside, and when you smoke a pipe, you could put friggin' dog shit up to my face. I could barely smell it, probably because the smoke is so powerful it gets in my facial hair, right? Anyway, yeah, the flavors have changed, but yeah, it's still there's some sweetness in there for sure. I don't find these red Virginias as sweet as some of the other Virginias, but you know, I can get better smokes out of this in different pipes. I just figured I'd use my corn cob for this one. Anyway, Seattle Pipe Club, Mississippi River. Give it a try. You know what I mean? You like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'm sure we all got lots of tobacco like that sitting on our shelf we don't like. Looking for a unique Virginia experience? Give it a try. YouTube. That's all for today. Live life. Enjoy your pipes. I'm gonna drink my coffee and finish this off. Thanks for watching.